challenge during the winter months, for it meant he needed to go out even in the worst of weather. During the middle of the storm, the dog begins to whine. Although my father was usually quite the gentleman and doted on my father, often more than she wanted, he would not walk the dog in the snow under any circumstances. It was cowardice, he believed. But he simply couldn't bring himself to be alone out there in the cold. Of course, he didn't want his wife out there alone either, and had thus fenced in a large yard. So out goes the dog, who cannot be without a leash or a fence. My mother hangs by the door, something that drove my father nuts, as she wouldn't close it either, and waits for her. A few moments pass, and then the dog begins to bark. For those who have been around Berzozis, you should know this is a bit out of the ordinary, for they are usually very quiet, timid animals, and would rather run home when confronted by something they can't hunt than make a fuss. Concerned, my mother followed him outside. What happened next is how my father described what my mother saw, so it's not even a direct retelling from him. The snow had piled high, and although 2 feet was what they had gotten over the course of the storm, they'd gotten more prior to that. Some of the snow had been shoveled against the fence to clear a walkway, and with the added few feet on top of that, it had made a ramp along the fence line. Something big moved away. Quickly enough, that all my mother saw was a streak of white against the snow. It was this that her dog had been barking at from atop this ramp. And when it fled, the dog went after it. Of course, my father claimed the thing she saw was the white man, although my mother simply thought it was a cat or some other animal that had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Regardless, the dog was gone. In runs my mother, screaming that her dog is gone and they have to go after it. It's chase something, and if they don't find it soon, it'll freeze to death. He refuses to go after it. He makes every excuse he can. Honey, he'll be back. Sweetheart, it's not worth risking our lives. Look, Pumpkin, we'll leave the door open so we can come back in. My mother's having none of it though. If he doesn't go with her, she'll go without him and then have a talking to him when she gets back. If she gets back. Since it's so dangerous according to him. Guilting always worked on my father, so with a sigh, we got dressed and headed out with her. Her holding the dog's leash and a sweetie toy, and him holding a loaded shotgun, just in case. So off they wander after the dog's rapidly fading footprints. My father's stomach doing cartwheels as he realizes there's another set of tracks. A set of vague indents that only look like footprints to those who know. He realizes he's going into the lion's den after this stupid dog.